Meeting to order. It's our work session prior to our regular scheduled council meeting that will begin at 6:30. At this time, we'll start and go through our department heads, and we'll hear from our attorney, and then we'll make our way through the council. If we have extra time, we've got a couple of requests on the floors. Main Street. I'll start with Brian, if you want to go.
Nothing really to report as far as the legal matters right
All right.
We
Kelly?
just have what's on the agenda.
Okay. Steve?
I know you guys are all aware of the search we've been undertaking for the gentleman from Kenya. There's really two phases to investigation like that. The physical search, which has been going on since Wednesday night, and then the investigation. We've got hundreds of tips and leads called in, and we've had 3 or 4 assigned. They've been as far as Coleman to different places. We checked a lead today in Huntsville. The family is awesome family. They had about 40 people out the other night, and they're just standing there waiting. It's an awful situation, but we're still hopeful, and we really got the message circulated. But I was surprised because one of the tips we got from Coleman the other night, they had heard or seen nothing about it. Well, I've talked to a few people even around here that weren't aware. I mean, it's been very broadly put out there, but there are a lot of people that don't follow social media and may not watch the news. So we're hopeful that somebody picked him up and took him somewhere. So we're still actively working those leads and in contact with the family every day. And I would like to, Chief Kendrick's not here, but the organization of the search that was done by the firefighters was phenomenal. And that was an enormous help to us because they kept the records of where we had searched and where we needed to search. And they kept it very organized, and they were very good at that. It was an excellent partnership. And Darrell Ray was out there a good bit spearheading that, and Chief Kendrick was out there, and Deputy Chief Stoudemire running that, and then the firefighters too. They came out, Saturday, a bunch of them volunteered to come out with us and continue searching and in the rain, and I can't say enough good about those guys, and we worked great together. We really had a seamless cooperation on that. Had tons of other agencies come in to help as well, both police and fire, and we appreciate all that. I wish we had a better outcome to all that. But just wanted you to know that, Calera did all Calera could do, and we still are, and we're still hopeful. And that's a wonderful family. They're going to need our support. And we're hoping that somebody picked him up and gave him a ride. He got 2 rides, maybe he got a 3rd. That's what we're hoping and praying. That's all I got.
All right. Kevin?
Just the rezoning on the agenda.
Bill?
Just the one item on the agenda, signal maintenance.
I don't have anything, sir.
James?
Just one item on the agenda.
Okay.
Just want to thank the chief. Calera did do all they could do as far as trying to locate Mr. Rubin. And we just thank you, the police and fire department, for your efforts, for all you do always. But for the extra effort I saw that y'all put forth trying to locate him. And your department and the fire department are always serving our community to the max. So just wanted to tell you how much we appreciate all your efforts.
I appreciate it.
And we are praying for his safe return. Also, during the attendance last week at the Alabama League of Municipalities Convention in Huntsville, Governor Kay Ivey discussed bills that would help keep our community safer. That Senate Bill 116 This bill would make a Class C felony for a person knowingly possessing a Glock switch. And also House Bill 199. This bill clarifies that Alabama Board of Pardons and Paroles or any other state agency can provide electronic monitoring services to children released by a juvenile court pending disposition of their case. And she also included putting restrictions on bail for violent offenders. So I know all of those things are essential in keeping our community safe, and so we were grateful for that information. Also, need some information on Resolution 2025-31, the traffic signal roadway lighting agreement on US 31 and 8th Avenue that's on the agenda. Will ALDOT be responsible for installing that traffic signal?
No, we are.
Okay, so, and we're also responsible for maintaining it? So when we approve this, approximately when will that install start?
Let's see. Probably I'm gonna say first quarter of next year, probably,
Okay.
somewhere in that time frame.
Okay, so my next question is regarding this Resolution 2025-32, the drainage facility agreement between us and CSX. So is that agreement citywide or downtown only? For,
That drainage agreement is only going to pertain to the improvements that we'd already undertaken. It seems, basically, we started the improvements and then we had to basically get permission after the fact. So it's limited just to that one component, that first phase, I guess if you could call it. It doesn't address any of the new issues that we'll have to partner with CSX and make future agreements, as I understand. This is just covers everything we've done up to this point.
oh, okay. That's all I have, thank you.
All right, Debbie?
I just have a couple things. Chief, did the roof get fixed yet?
It is, yes.
Everything good?
And last rain dries bone.
Perfect. And Mayor, since Chief Kendrick's not here, this question may be directed to you. I was out by the fire station a couple weeks ago, and I noticed that the fire station itself looks good. I'm not a contractor, so if there's flaws with it, I did not see it. I do know that there's drainage issues in the front and at the bay that they're working to address. Plus, there's a punch list. Do we know if that construction company is actively working that punch list? Do we know where at?
To my understanding, that's all being addressed, so.
Okay, are we holding the final payment until they get it finished?
Yes, a substantial amount of money.
Okay, and we don't have an extra,
We've been pushing, so I think
Okay, I
all
saw
parties involved are trying to make that happen.
perfect. I did see some workers out there, I think, today, maybe they were working on the punch list. That's all.
To my understanding, that's supposed to be done soon.
Okay, thank you.
Jenny?
Kelly, on this drainage with CSX, have we already paid that money?
Is that something we've already paid, Bill?
That was the one I sent you, the check had cleared, yeah.
Yes, yes, so I said, yes, it
Yeah.
has cleared the bank.
That's all I
Kevin?
don't have anything.
Dana?
I don't have anything.
And before our next council member goes, I want to brag on him for a minute. Ernest Montgomery is our oldest serving council member up here as far as time. And I'm not talking about your age, I'm talking about the 20 years. This year marks his 20th year serving the city of Calera. So the league of municipalities recognized Ernest recently, and I just wanted, I know he doesn't like taking credit, but I wanted to acknowledge that and give him a round of applause for 20 years serving our city. It's your mic, it's open.
Thank you, Mayor. We're very happy to have had the opportunity to serve Calera for, and then being recognized by the illegal municipalities was a big honor. They called and invited us to sit in a certain area there and gave us some recognition. And it happened to be the league 90th year of serving the state of Alabama, and made it even special for that to happen. It all happened while Governor K.I. was there as well. So I'm very excited about that. Well, on the Bingo agenda, I don't have anything there. Thank you.
Well, that was a nice recognition that the league gave you. So it makes me proud. Ernest has been rock solid for our city. When I came in here 16 years ago, he was somebody that I could ask questions and knew the way to lead the city, and he is currently the mayor pro tem, so he's done a really fine job. Let's give him another round of applause. Dee, we do have a few minutes if you want to come up.
Yes, so it's a time of recognition. So on Wednesday, I was able to attend the Shelby County Tourism and Recreation All-Star Awards. And we were recognized as being the event of the year in 2024 for our New Year's event. We're the only one that had fireworks in all of Shelby County for New Year's, and a city-sponsored and Calera Main Street sponsored party to end the year. So I wanted to take a moment and thank a few of you guys, City Council and Mayor for one, continuing allowing and helping and working with us on these events, but also several of the department heads, everything from Bill's department with the streets, bringing barricades and helping us with some of the maintenance there on Main Street and the Calera Courtyard, as well as Parks and Rec helping us in advance prepare, organize, and move stages and tables and things like that. Our Calera Police Department helping provide security during these events, which is very, very crucial, as well as our fire department, because our fire department actually helped us organize our firework display and set that off. We had over 30-minute firework display that led off at midnight. We had a balloon drop midday or mid-evening, so it was a lot of fun. So it was a great honor to receive this award. And again, thank you guys for your help and your support with Main Street to allow us to do that. And we've got a nice little trophy we'll display downtown that was given for that. We have several upcoming events that will continue throughout all of the year as well. So continue watching Calera Main Street. June 6th is the next First Friday, and there's several other events coming up as well. Yes. Yes.
Hey, I just want to, we didn't mention about Friday, the wrestling.
Yes, we had micro wrestling last weekend.
It exceeded my expectation. It was over the top. It was fantastic.
Thank you. And hopefully this, the Main Street team worked really hard on that. It was definitely a full team effort. And the company that came in, maybe we'll win again next year for that event, because there was so many people in attendance for that. It also brought more tourism because we had people staying at the hotels, including the micro wrestlers as well, all purchased hotels right here, and we're right here in the city, which is great because they were all dining and eating. And so again, another way that these events are helping the city as a whole.
How many do you estimate was there?
We had about 600 people for this event.
Awesome.
And this group that came in to perform, they've been on the Discovery Channel. They have a permanent location in Pigeon Forge, and they do shows year-round all over the country. So this is definitely really big for our city and recognition, because they were promoting that they were in Calera, Alabama this weekend, and how great of a show we had. And even the producer said it was awesome. He enjoyed it and is ready to come back again. So, thank you.
My wife aggravated me, and I've never seen such. We've been to some kind of wrestling thing. I just didn't know exactly what to expect. Unlike Calvin, it exceeded what I thought. So my wife was aggravating me, and she said, I'm going to that, I'm going to call fitness, I'm going. Anyway, she wants to be, I worried real bad, I worried about her getting inside the ring, but she was the one that, I believe little Joe, Joe called her out, and they kept pointing at her. Yeah, Joe said, he called her Carol Baskin. And he told her she looked like her grandmother. Anyway, she bought up at it. She was up there really interactive. It was funny. I had to drag her out of there. She said, that's the most fun night she's had. Probably my entire, I've never taken her on a date night better.
Yeah. And like I said, when they come back again next year, it's just gonna grow bigger and
Oh,
bigger.
yeah.
The popularity is just gonna continue and grow, and we hope that continues with all of our events downtown and on Main Street, because it does help the city as a whole. You're talking, it was the best date night. There were several people that had great date nights that night between eating at the food trucks in our city restaurants and things like that. So again, these events do a broader branch out for our city. And so we continue to want to continue to grow those and make those bigger efforts and these type of things. I had a couple of the Calera police officers attend a micro wrestling event somewhere else, and over a year ago showed me it, and we've been working on that on Main Street for over a year.
But I tell you what, that when the guy that came in with the handcuffs,
Ryan Ryan.
yes, that was just, it was off the chain.
Yeah. And again, that's where you guys as a city help support us for all of the events, and I love it because it adds the extra additional to it with the police department and the Main Street group and the Main Street board and the whole Main Street team. It's not an individual effort, we're a team.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we need to.
Chief, you had, we've got some time, you had something you wanted to.
Well, it was on the
Work
agenda,
session.
but you want me to go ahead and knock out the hemp law?
Yeah, if you want to just kind of talk to us about it, we can't take any action,
It's no need. I was just going to, since we had the family come here with the issue with the store, the vape store, and their concerns, since then, there's been a new law passed, and it's signed into law by Governor Ivey, and basically, businesses will have to be licensed through the ABC board to sell any THC or hemp products at all. That's very new. They're cutting out the gas stations. It's not going to be legal for them to sell anything with hemp or THC, marijuana, whatever phrase you want to use. Hemp is kind of the overall, cover-all. But anyway, none of that's going to be legal in gas stations anymore. Only establishments that allow people 21 years of age and up will be allowed to sell products. Products that are going to be sold at these ABC licensed stores have to be tested by a third party to be allowed on the shelf. So they're going to have to be tested. That's new as well. Because the products we got now, a lot of that stuff's coming from China, and nobody knows what's in it. There's no controls whatsoever. Smokable products, like now, you can buy basically leaf marijuana or marijuana buds from stores like our vape stores here. And it looks exactly like what you buy on the street. We can't hardly tell the difference. Smokable products are going to be banned in this new law to be sold legally in stores like that. So, I said that about the gas stations. The law takes effect July 1st, and any stores selling THC or hemp products must be restricted to 21 and older, like I said, except large grocery stores. There's an exception. They got to have their liquor license, but they can sell THC-infused drinks, and pharmacies can get specific THC products that are sold by prescription only. This really restricts it a good bit. It's helpful. But one thing I want you to understand is just because there's a law against something doesn't mean that it's always that enforceable. The problem here that I have is that it's regulated and enforced by the ABC board, which limits us. That's kind of the way we are now. When we have instances where we know establishments are selling alcohol or vapes to underage people, we typically call ABC board and get them to come and do an operation, and we've done several here. they're just too few and far between, and it's difficult. So I don't want you thinking, boom, automatically it's going to be gone, because the ABC board has to regulate it, and it's going to take a little while to phase in. But we do want to keep track, and we already do with our case program. Our case officers visit our gas stations and our different stores, and the ones that are doing things the right way, and they're removing products already from where juveniles or kids could see it. We're already giving them a placard, a sticker, and, family friendly, giving them family friendly recognition when they do that. So that's something we'll continue to do. I knew you guys we were all moved by the family that were talking about their son that had mental health issues that was triggered by some of those products. And nobody knows what's in some of that stuff, like I said, that comes from overseas. And if this actually is done like it's written, I think it's going to be a big help. The other avenue too is us not allowing those stores here. We got 2, maybe 3, we've got at least 2 now. And I know some of you guys have called me upset about the billboard and the stores and all that. We can call the ABC board, we can ask them to come investigate, but the stores are already here. It causes us difficulties. I get a lot of complaints about some of those stores. I get citizens calling, complaining. They also will not allow you to use the products in the store anymore under this law, which is enormously helpful. The bulk of it, I believe the mayor called me one time about that, people complaining at businesses because they could smell, the marijuana, and that's now outlawed. You can't use on location anymore. So I think there's some good stuff in this bill, and I thought it was timely after the interaction we had with that family here the other day.
And also, Chief, to add to your comments, New Mount Moriah Church is going to be having Wednesday a panel discussing about mental illness. So anyone that would love to attend, they would love to have you. It's New Mount Moriah Church next to the Quick Trip gas station.
With the county, I think I mentioned the county has a new mental health officer, and I don't know if you've included him in that. He might be a good person to include.
I was going to chime in on that it's a wonderful resource that the county's basically hired a full-time mental health professional that's liaison with basically picking up the phone, whatever city's calling, whatever. And he was just hired in county commission, I think it was last Monday. So
We've
when we
already
have,
used him 3 times.
exactly, so that family that came in, did we actually refer them to?
We did.
So I know they were exasperated in, as far as that. There is that resource, and Chief was able to put him in contact with it. So just letting you know, especially with your panel, that is a resource that the community now has.
And Chief, also on that, we got a chance to talk to the mother, and she said that what you guys did tremendously helped that situation.
I hope so. I mean, you feel helpless when people tell you, hey, there's something illegal going on here in your town. And we're the police department, the chief of police, and there's really nothing we can do because of the way it has to be enforced. I don't like that, and the citizens don't understand it. When I get individual calls, I explain it to them, but again, it's regulated by the ABC board, so we're kind of at the mercy of them, and the state's vastly understaffed, and it's difficult. But one thing we will do is we will keep an eye on our stores. I've been in them myself. And when we have them in violation, we will keep referring it to the ABC board, and we will get the investigators here as much as possible.
In those events, can you write an incident report up? Can your department go in and write an incident report if you find that in these stations and they keep on reoccurring? And then we could work with the attorney to retract the business license or close the door or something.
If you guys,
happening for that.
if you guys, yeah, absolutely. I thought you were going to say then we could refer that to ABC board, but this, absolutely.
We can handle some of this through the business license aspect of the city.
We could
And
absolutely.
the more documentation we have, would meet the basis for being able to pull a business license. So I would be all for that.
Well, as a result, you called me about that, didn't you? But yeah, so as a result of my visit to that store, they did stop in-store use on their own. They did. So I appreciate them doing that. I'm not crazy about the store, but I'm glad at least they complied. And it does help.
We want to be business friendly. We want to first control the health of our city and the well-being of all of our people. If anybody's doing something like that in this city, in my opinion, we need to root them out.
Well, kids are getting their hands on it. You know, I know what the opposition is saying, but the truth is, kids in our city and every other city
It's
are
not
getting their hands on it.
discriminatory, it's the mayor's children, it's your children, it's everybody.
Absolutely.
We're not exempt. None of us are. None of us hearing my voice are exempt. So we need to really proactively go after it.
Well, this is definitely gonna help. This
It
is a
helps
step.
you, and
Yeah, the 2019 law was horrible. The Farm Bill hurt us terribly. And this helps.
Calvin, Councilmember Warren, excuse me. What is the date and time of the mental health panel that y'all have scheduled? At Mount Moriah?
It's at 5.
At 5? Did you say Wednesday? Okay.
If you need contact for that gentleman too, I can get that to you. I've got his contact.
I'll let that somewhere.
It's
Sure.
still-
he's a sheriff's officer, isn't he?
No, he works for the county. He's a mental health officer under I believe he's under juvenile services, isn't he?
I can't remember exactly. I think it's, it was something that was advocated by the probate judge. I'm not exactly sure where they finally parked him in his position, but he's basically works for the county and available as a resource to every.
So Mayor, I have a quick question for you. Do we have any regulations on signage that can be put up in town? So I know it's freedom of speech, but can we do anything to stop the promoting of the, or the stores?
I will say, I have not looked at your sign ordinance, but it is a sticky situation in being able to regulate speech of that nature. But I would be happy to take a look at it, see if there's something that could be massaged or changed to cover anything that y'all think is a problem. But unfortunately, you're going to be pretty limited if you're getting into saying you can't express this, et cetera, unless it's, promoting. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, we love our Constitution, but they have a lot of leeway, and regulation is very limited. So, I'd be happy to take a look at it.
James, I don't think I included you on the round. The department heads, do you have anything?
You did, it's just the one thing on the agenda.
Jackie, do you want to come forward? I know you were on the public comment section.
Yes, thank you.
We got a few minutes that we can hear from you.
Thank you. Well, it sounds like I missed Calera's event of a lifetime. And I'm so glad to know that it went so well and everybody had such a good time. I enjoyed looking at the pictures and the videos, and I'm sure there's lots of stories to come. I got a kick out of seeing you and your wife ringside having a ball. And I'm really excited, Dee talked about the fact that we are able to bring more and new things, and that's because you guys requested that. And so we've tried to do our best to go above and beyond and bring more and more to town, to our citizens, and it's sometimes it's a challenge, but we have met it with smiles and happy to do it, and I think we've been pretty successful with it. But we have another opportunity that I would love to discuss with you tonight. Try to be brief, but we have an opportunity to actually bring a rodeo downtown. There was a weekend that has opened up in this October, and it will be next fiscal budget season, but it is October the 17th and the 18th. And we would really love to do this, but I wanted to kind of explain it to you first and then get your thoughts on it and see if maybe we could work together to pull this off. 3R Rodeo Company they're actually headquartered in Jemison, and they do a number of rodeos all over the southeast. They're very well renowned. They're busy almost every weekend of the whole year. And they've always wanted to have one closer to home, and they met with us a couple of times, and we've talked about what a great opportunity it would be to have a rodeo here in Calera. We've even looked downtown, you know, we've got the space for our additional parking across 17th, but there's a lot of nice room just beyond where that gravel area to kind of where the cul-de-sac would have been at 18th. And that would make the perfect spot. We'd just bring in a little bit of dirt during that, that soggy area, raise that up a little bit, and that would be perfect, the perfect space for their corral, their arena, and then their back pens for the livestock. And we've talked about what that would look like. So it would be a Friday and a Saturday night, which would be a full rodeo with announcers, run a jumbotron. I mean, we'll do it top notch. We'll make the absolute best of it. Saturday would give us an opportunity to even have a big parade with all the cowboys and horses, and we can have a festival during the day there, and then that could end at, 4 or 5, and then go into the nighttime program for the rodeo. One of the really cool aspects of it, they're going to be there and be set up and early, and so what they are able to offer is on Thursday, we could take field trips from the local schools, from elementary and intermediate school, and we could go as far as we could handle in terms of the amount of time. But what they do when you have tickets for your kids, they call it a rodeo, and I think it's a very specific, condensed time. But they talk about America and the flag and the history of rodeo and, God and country and all the fun things that go along with that philosophy. And the ticket price is very attainable for the children of that age, and the school gets a portion of those proceeds. So the school gets money back, it benefits them, kids get a really cool entertainment, learning opportunity, and it's just yet more of that weekend. So it's a very cool event. I think it would be super fun. Obviously, it's a big event, and it has a price tag with it, and we are willing to get behind it as Main Street and sell sponsorships. And as a matter of fact, I've already got a grant from the Tourism Department of the state, as well as Shelby County. Discover Shelby's willing to support us a little bit with that, and any of their in-kind services, we'll be able to use those. But we do need a little bit of help to make it just make it. I feel like we can definitely break even with this, but our ask tonight is, if you're interested in this, if you would, as a city, help support us. Our ask is $20,000 toward the production and a little bit of help with the dirt, with whatever it takes to fill that marshy area to be able to create the space to hold this event. I know you can't take action now,
Talk
but.
about it right now, but.
Sure. Does anybody have any questions, Bill, while I'm? Have any of you been to any of the local rodeos nearby? They're fun, aren't they? We're told that we could easily sell out, 1,000, 1,500 each night, and it's just a very, very popular opportunity. So.
I'll ask a question about
Please.
dirt. I know nothing about dirt.
Well, I'm learning.
But do we know that dirt, I know we gotta fill that area in anyway. Is that dirt that would be able to stay there in part of the grading, or would it have to be removed?
Well, I've had a discussion with Roger, and we've talked about that because I thought, the ask would certainly be a lot less obnoxious if it wasn't, having, well, initially, we had talked about needing like 3 feet of dirt all the way through. But when I found out that, the city does have access to dirt, as well as, trucking, we have relationships, and we can probably get other sponsorships too to facilitate getting the dirt there. But I thought it certainly would be a lot better if it's a spot that you would need to fill anyway. It's not like I'm asking for us to fill a parking lot that we're only going to have to remove again and re-gravel or something like that. So it is, in my understanding, and I can certainly be corrected, but I've talked at length with Roger about it, that is an area that probably would have to be raised and filled in eventually anyway. So hopefully that part of that expense would be money you would spend eventually anyway, if that makes sense.
I think some of the elevations there need to be raised for the second phase, and, you know, possibly, yes, that would be something that would help the further development of the entire area. We've got a lot of storm drain to put in up under there while we bring in dirt, obviously, we have to control the
Consider that,
surface
sure.
water.
I've got a question.
Okay.
You mentioned the hope was to break even. What does that mean? Does that mean everybody gets their money back that invest in this project, or?
Well, I mean that we would make as much money as we spent. So, no, it's an investment for the community to provide this opportunity for the citizens. Well, I mean, you know, we're spending a lot more than 20, so I mean, it's, I'm gonna have to raise 40 to put with your 20, so.
So when you said that these dates came available,
Yes.
how soon do you need to know before it gets away from you?
It would be wonderful if we could know as soon as possible. I've asked her to hold it, you know, kind of a first right of refusal if she would, but she's waiting. We've been talking and thought, well, it's probably not practical, but then this date opened up and it's like, gosh, especially on the heels of such an exciting event this last weekend, I think the more that we can continue to provide, especially unique opportunities, different opportunities, I think it just draws more and more in. And let's face it, it does also excite the county from tourism dollars. Obviously, heads and beds make all the difference, and that helps us to, you know, get additional grant money down the road.
The reason I asked that question is because I guess I wanted to, and as we said, we'll probably look at it a little bit later, but I wanted to ask the council and mayor, is this something that we want to commit to and get Kelly to see if we can, where the money could come from, and so that we can lock down the commitment to this, so it can take place. So that's, instead of, because the next time we meet, we're talking 2 weeks from now, and then if we don't make a decision then, you're talking a month. And we're looking into October for this to take place, so.
We really do need to get started on some sponsorships and the marketing of it. We need to, you know, print a lot of promotional material and digital advertising, all of that, as soon as we can, because it is a condensed time frame. You know, typically,
How big an area is the third meeting?
it's, the maximum is 250 by 200 feet.
So on the Friday night rodeo, the Saturday night rodeo, how many people do you think the arena will accommodate?
Well, it depends on how we lay it out, but it can, and we will also be renting bleachers for this, and we could choose to seat 1,000, we could choose to seat 2,000.
I'm just trying to see how many visitors we'll have in
Oh,
the city of
yes.
those 2 nights to hopefully recoup some revenue.
Well, my ballpark P&L, I'm assuming that we sell at least 1,000, but probably 1,500 a night. And then that doesn't count, you know, the kids the day before. And, you know, a parade and a festival, that's even more, and business licenses for food trucks, that type of thing. We're constantly seeing more and more new faces and names that want to be involved in all of our events.
And since it's a 2-day event, they would spend money at the businesses that we do have here.
Yes.
The restaurants that we do have, the fast foods and what have you. So that would help locals to spend money locally. That's what we've been speaking of in the last few council meetings.
And there'd definitely be at least 25 hotel rooms booked for this, so, you know, that's a positive. It would be the biggest event we've ever produced, and I think it would be noteworthy.
Ms. Kelly, do we have any?
The revenue over expense that was in the financials that went out to you guys last week shows revenue over expense for the general fund, 19,408. which we are about to do another round of budget adjustments. And so that could, depending on, this is the time of year I do a really in-depth look at our revenues to project for the end of the year. So that could increase or decrease based on what we find.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ellen, would you mind up here, sir?
It was part of the come before you. Directly asked you to put your head protection around Mr. Rubin College. We ask that you give all the searchers, volunteers, everyone involved wisdom and clarity on what they need to do, and just hope that you find them safe and well and bring them back to his family college. We ask you to be with us if we make decisions and move forward with items on the agenda tonight. And we ask these things in your name.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda as outlined. Do I hear a motion with?
Mayor, I need to ask a question about the agenda. Do we need, since we have been brought the information about the rodeo, do we need to add that to this agenda tonight?
We have, I put it on the bottom of this agenda, so we'll definitely hear, we'll hear both of them.
And I make a motion that we approve the agenda.
I second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next, I need the motion for approval of our minutes from our regular meeting and our work session on May 5th. I hear a motion to approve and dispense.
I make that motion as well.
I second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, a little bit of old business here. We have, on the agenda, we have our honor, it's our honor from this council and mayor to bring forward Dennis Torriello. Forward, we want to present you with a proclamation and a key to the city of Calera. Dennis has been very instrumental in bringing Main Street together. Dennis had the vision and the wherewithal to get us all in gear and get the community in gear and lead us in the direction of revitalizing our downtown. And that's been a very difficult, very expensive ordeal for all involved, but we are confident that this will pay off. The city of Calera has spent a lot of money with investing in some of the buildings and the real estate, and you have shown us the way. You have given us that vision. We knew we had a problem. It was a problem before any one of us were elected. We had a blight. We had a downtown area that was just blight. We saw pictures of our city downtown when we went to the League of Municipalities. We saw pictures in different places talking about what a bad downtown looks like. So we know where we came from, and it's with your vision and wisdom and dedication that you brought what we see today. So I hope we can partner and continue to work together to make this, just phenomenal. I can only imagine what phase 2 and maybe phase 3 would be like. We don't have plans beyond phase 2 right now, but we're talking about how to fund phase 2, and we have that area with, a lot of vacancy. There's a lot of empty dirt down there. We have a big project, which is a bridge that's going over our railroad to create some kind of relief for traffic. That's a big focus for us, alongside of, moving Main Street along. So all of that's gonna tie together. We're gonna see, my vision and our vision is to see new roads, new bridges, and a lot more new development. We're gonna connect downtown to I-65. We're going to be able to freely travel over the C6 Railroad. So that's a vision we have. And at this time, I want to bring Dennis forward and give him a proclamation and a key to the city. Anything you'd like to say?
Sure, yes, I'd like to. First things first, I'd like to ask James not to put the 3 minutes up there. I've waited a long time for this. Guys, what an honor. This is, it's overwhelming. I'm truly humbled. It takes a lot of people to get us where we are today, on both sides. And before I get going, I would like to mention something. I've told you guys for years that I am in fact married, and I do have a wife. And, she's the blonde lady over there in accounting. Raise your hand, would you? So I just wanted to tell you that I love you, and I wouldn't be here without you. And I appreciate you.
Me too.
I won't keep us long because I know you guys want to get out of here. We have a short meeting today. But I did want to acknowledge a few people, and I wanted to start off with you guys, and you in particular, Mayor. For those of you that have not lived here very long, Calera's grown tremendously in the last 20 years that my wife and I have been here. We purchased our first commercial property on Highway 31, just a stone throw away before the O'Reillys and some of these businesses and some of the growth that we've seen. I think the year was 2008, and our country faced some challenges. And Calera was in a really bad spot, guys. A really bad spot. And after that time, I really didn't know you, John. I did hear a couple things. One, you're the most popular guy here since high school. And number two, I heard that nobody wanted the mayor's position. And you took that challenge head on. And, it goes without saying that when we talk about having events and asking for funds, there was a time where that was not possible. So we've come a very long way. So very proud of the city, of the administration, of the dignitaries of the council. You as individuals have supported Team Main Street and myself to the fullest. Ernest, you always ask questions. If I've needed anything, I know I can count on you. And I thank you. You've been great. Alan, man, I tell you, you've also met with me downtown on multiple occasions, asked questions, try to be informed. You've always had your constituents' interest in the forefront, and I'm also grateful to you. I think we're gonna help fund James a new microphone. See what we can do here. Calvin, 6 years ago, when we started working downtown, you and I walked it. And I think we ran into some snakes, saw a lot of trees, a lot of metal buildings, and all it was dreams. That's all it was. Just the ideas of being able to bring something like this to the community. We have a storm shelter today that you fought very hard to get, and you've been an awesome team member, and we're all so grateful, and I'm thankful for you as well. Kenny, when John put you down there with us, I really didn't know what to expect. You've got one heck of an attitude. No is not an option moving forward. I've seen what you've done with the pavilion, coming under budget, helping us with the county and coming up with $250,000. That's not easy. And today, a lot of moms enjoy that playground, and a lot of people do because of your efforts. So thank you. Miss Debbie, first female firefighter in Calera. I know how passionate you are about the PD and the firefighters. I hear a lot of great things from the schools. Nothing but superlatives when it comes to Miss Byers. And you've been awesome. And I know that the girls here enjoy working with you, and we appreciate you as well. Miss Kay, last but not least, fairy godmother, as we like to affectionately call her. You started this push, and you helped us be a designated city, and that alone is a big deal. So whether it's a stop sign, a traffic study, or helping out a neighborhood, I know you always have everyone's best interest at heart, and you've been amazing. Thank you as well. And back on this side of things, I'd like to point out some people. If the Main Street Board could stand just real quick, I'd like for everybody to see who you guys are. There's Marcus back there. And without these guys right here, we could not do what we do. Miss Baxter, you're part of the team. You want to get up? It was Miss Baxter's birthday a couple of weeks ago. How old are we, Miss Baxter?
22.
That's right. And last but not least, the ladies of Main Street. So Miss Jackie, Alicia, and Dee, if you guys would stand up. These are the real stars, and they're the ones that bring this vision to you. They're the ones that look at me sideways when I tell them micro wrestling's coming and it's going to be awesome. So kudos to you and girls. I'm very appreciative and grateful to work with you guys. We've come a long way, and quite frankly, I wouldn't be here without you. We couldn't do it without you. Calera couldn't do it without you. So it takes all of us. And I'm looking forward to finishing the project, phase 2, phase 3, whatever that may be. Thanks again. And lastly, I know that we have Ms. Nidra over there, Ms. Kylie as well, and Jonathan. Businesses have to flourish downtown. These guys put everything that they have, their hearts, their time, finances into our city. They could choose another one, but they chose to be here with us. And it's our pleasure to have you guys, and hope that your businesses will grow and flourish here in the city. We've got a couple things coming up, a couple businesses that I can't quite tell you until I get some ink, but let's just say that good things are coming. And then in conclusion, I want to thank everyone again. Truly humbled by tonight, and just super excited, Mayor, for the gesture. Very kind of you and this council. Thank you.
Proclamation.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next on the agenda, we have resolution 2025-31 is the traffic signal agreement. Aldana, it's on Highway 31, and across from the city hall.
I move that we approve that.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Kelly, we're up to your spot on the agenda, the audit, financials, and information You handed it out.
Everyone has a copy of our September 30th, 2024 audited financials. We received the best audit opinion you can receive for both the water board and the city. And also the audit includes, because of the amount of grant money we received, there's also included in the audit a audit of our grant funds. You'll see that included towards the end of the audit. It's also available to the public. If you go to our website under departments, finance, and financial reports, you can see the audits going back to 2007. That's all that I have.
Any discussion on that? Any questions? We appreciate you handling that. Next on the agenda, we have James bringing us some information about shop and discover local.
As y'all know, a few meetings ago, Kelly talked about, the need to kind of push people shopping local and doing things here in town. And so after speaking with the mayor, he asked me to kind of come up with some good ideas of how we can promote businesses in our community along with different community events. Because a lot of times, especially when people don't have things like social media, they don't really know what all we are offering here in the summertime. So what I did is I got with the library, the Parks and Rec, Main Street, and kind of combined everything that we're going to be doing this summer as a citywide entity. So what I made, and you can kind of see it here on the screen, but it's essentially like a bingo board. And what this does is almost probably 80% of the things that are on here are completely free for the citizens to do. So this is a great idea for a parent that has kids home during the summertime. They want to try to find different activities that they can do close and inexpensive. So some of the things you'll have on here, different things that are offered, like movies in the park. And on the back of this, you'll see different things, like for instance, movies in the park, you'll have a 100. On the back, you can find the correlating one that goes with that, and it tells you exactly where the movies are going to be, what time they're going to be, the dates that they're going to be. And it's that way for every single thing that you see on that board. So some other things that you'll see on there are different things to help people kind of discover the downtown area. So one of the things you see on there is talking about, number 6 says Discover Downtown, talks about our pavilions down there with the fully inclusive playground, and talks about how to go to the coffee shop and bakery down there, try those out at the same time. And again, when I spoke with Dee and the Main Street folks about this, she took that to her merchants meeting. And a lot of these merchants are actually going to have coupons to go along with this. So, the few things on here that do cost money, they're going to do some coupons to kind of help entice people to, come to their businesses too, because it is a partnership. So we're helping promote them, and they're helping promote themselves, but also giving coupons to help the citizens, be able to do more with less money. So once we get those coupons from Dee and all the merchants, then we'll post this out. We'll have some here at City Hall. We'll put them at the library, probably some of the Main Street businesses as well, and have the coupons along with them. And also make it where people can download it from our website and stuff too. So we'll have a lot of different options, but it basically talks about everything that's going on this summer. So people can actually stay here, shop here, and spend money here. So, any questions or anything?
That's excellent, James. That's a job well done again. It didn't surprise me. When we ask you to do something, you do a task, you outperform everything.
Appreciate it.
Hope this works out good and is convenient for the citizens, and everybody passing through. We can give them a little roadmap of things to do.
Yeah, like I said, once those coupons get done, then we'll push this out on social media and website and everything else, and let everybody know what we have to offer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have a ordinance from our planning and zoning 2025-01. This is a public hearing. So the ordinance is a zoning from MR to A1. It's on the north end of the town, 664 Meadow Lake Drive. It's property of Bill and Ann Davis. Anybody here on the floor that wants to come forward and speak about the rezoning of this individual property? I don't see Bill and Ann here tonight, but they're traveling, so. Does anybody from the council have any discussion on this rezoning from MR to A1? Went through the planning commission.
I would just say that, you know, that's a representative of planning and zoning, that this property did go through all the courses that it should have. And we know when it comes into this new property, that actually is in a municipal reserve to the appropriate time, and that's what's on the agenda tonight. So, just on the planning and zoning side, everything was very well.
And A1 is a fit, it's a fit to our comprehensive plan as well for that area.
That's right.
I'll close the public hearing at this time since nobody came forth, and if the council wants to suspend our rules, we can vote for unanimous consent. I do need a motion.
I'll move for unanimous consent.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. I need a roll call vote. Ernest?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That being said, that was unanimous. Now I need a motion to adopt.
Yes.
Can I hear a motion?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. Motion carries. Resolution 2025-33 is our audit agreement with the Venue Insights. This is something that we renew every year. Kelly has it on the agenda for us to pass through. Anybody have any discussion? No discussion, I need a motion to adopt resolution 25-33.
I make a motion.
I second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right, chief, it's your moment.
All right, Brandon. We introduce our newest dispatcher. This is Brandy Kemp. And Brandy, like the previous one that we just introduced, we were lucky enough to find somebody with experience. And your first night, I think it was your first night, we had a pursuit on your first night, didn't we? Just pretend like we did. Didn't see. All right, but anyway, this job, as I expressed to, I read off what happened in a 15-minute period of time on a Friday night. I read the number of calls. I sat there and listened to them, and there were two dispatchers there. It's amazing what they do. I dispatched when I was in college at the University of Alabama back in the ancient times. I couldn't do a tenth of what they do. They'll be sitting there with 3 or 4 calls going on. There's a wreck. There's somebody pushing the button, wanting to talk to them in the lobby. They got 3 or 4 officers bugging them, and the phone's ringing. They got 3 or 4 calls on hold, and it's amazing what they do. And so she has 7 years prior experience. I got that right, didn't I? All right. So, didn't I tell you to just agree with everything I say? No matter what, because I get it wrong half the time.
August 7th,
Okay.
implementation of July 7th.
Okay. But anyway, and this is our supervisor, Jessie Davis. She's our new dispatch supervisor. Come on up here, Jessie. What's your picture made with it? But honestly, I am really proud of this group because they do an amazing job, and the turnover that we've had and some of the things that Jessie's the 3rd dispatch supervisor that's been here since I've been here. And she really had a lot done in her lap. We were undergoing an audit right when she started, and she's handled it very well. That's a lot to ask us. So I'm very proud of her, and I think hopefully she's going to be here with us, both of these two will be here with us for a long time. Welcome aboard, glad to have you. Okay, now, Jessie is going to talk to you a little bit about a new program that she came up with. This was 100% her idea. And as you guys know, for the last 4 years, we've had a special needs public safety day. I don't know of anybody else that's ever done that before. We've done it, this will be our 4th year. But we're combining it this year with our Torch Run for the Special Olympics. And as part of that, Jessie's going to tell you about the program that she's come up with that we're very excited about. So go ahead, Jessie.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share with you guys a new program that we've recently implemented and pushed out to the public. As she said, on the 23rd, we are actually having the Alabama Torch Run for Special Olympics. And if you're not familiar with that, the torch is brought from North Alabama. It's ran through multiple different cities, and it ends up going through Montgomery, and after that, it goes to Troy to the actual Special Olympics event. So during that day, we've actually got with Main Street, and we're going to host our Touch a Truck on that day. And we're also going to have an open house for our special needs community. It's gonna be similar to our National Night Out, but it's going to be specifically for the special needs community. We're not going to have lights and sirens and all of those things there. But during that, we are actually going to have our care packets. They're our care network, and that is what we have recently pushed. And this program is specifically geared toward our special needs community. And it's basically just a good way for our first responders to have the information that they need before they respond to these residents with anybody with special needs. That can range from Alzheimer's, dementia, autism spectrum disorder, any kind of mobility issues that somebody may have. It's all voluntary. We have the packets at our police department in the lobby. We have them electronically online, and we will also have them at the open house event. I've actually brought a copy for all of you guys if you wanted to look at it. If you had any questions, feel free to ask me those. And this is for our city limits community and within our police jurisdiction. And they can give us their information. Like I said, it's completely voluntary, but we keep it in our computer system. That way our first responders can view it and have access to it before they ever arrive on scene so that they can respond in the best way possible.
We could also take people with mental health issues and put that.
Yeah, and that's a big one too. Anybody with any kind of mental health issues, anything like that, we would love for them to take part in this program. I think it's going to benefit us, the fire department. It's going to benefit our community, and I'm really excited to see how far it goes. So far, we already have approximately 20 members who have enrolled in this, and I've got those all in our computer system. And like I said, I just really look forward to seeing how far it goes.
Thank you, Jessie.
Thank you.
Wonderful idea by Jessie, and a lot of hard work put into it. And you know, there's a lot of use of force issues that happen around the country involving encounters with law enforcement, people with mental illness, people with special needs. And having that information that can be relayed to the officers ahead of time for the firefighters. You know, I have a blind daughter who's autistic, and for many, many years, the fire department in my area, I've told them where Rachel is, what bedroom she was in, so they could know where to go get her if they need to. Well, that's one part of it. The other part of it is on a call, if we pull somebody over and the dispatch can tell them that this is an individual that has this autism or special need or mental health disorder, it may save a life. And I think it was a wonderful idea, 100% Jessie's, and I'm very proud of her for that. She's doing an amazing job. And the last thing I want to do is Kevin is going to talk to you about a video. You remember last year, or maybe year before last, the kids made a video, and it went on Fox News National. It was phenomenal. One of the young students at the high school made it. Well, now the CASE program is working together with our students, and they're making some videos that are educational and part of the CASE program. Kevin's going to share a video with you, and he's going to tell you more about it.
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to get the actual stars to come stand up here with me. This group of kids right here, the peer helpers from the high school, I came to them, I said, hey, listen, this is what I want to do. Then they told me what we were actually going to do, and they did a phenomenal job. So all the credit goes to them. I hope that you guys like this video. The peer helpers had to do a project this year. So it got me thinking, okay, why do they just have to stop at that one? Why not? Why can't we do one together? So we did that. Addiction is something that we're facing in this country. It's a pandemic, or endemic actually, and we're actually trying to fight that. So with the video, we hope that we can show people a day in the life of somebody who overdoses. We hear a lot about, oh, this person overdosed, but we never truly get to see it. These guys actually helped me bring this to life, and I really hope that you guys love the video. Okay.
Before, I was just like everyone else. A snob, a joke, trying to fit in. But behind that snob, I was fighting a silent battle I couldn't escape. At home, I felt invisible, ignored even by those who should have cared. Alone in my own home, I looked for comfort where I couldn't find it. I sought connection, but all I found was silence. I felt so small, so unseen. Sometimes I thought maybe this was the only way out, a fleeting escape from the pain of loneliness. But in that moment, I didn't see the end. I only saw the promise of relief. That's when everything changed. The moment I was lost. Doctors fought to bring me back, trying to save what was slipping away. But no matter how hard they tried, I was gone. They told my family I had overdosed, that I was gone. People came to say goodbye, to remember the girl I once was, the girl who deserved so much more. Now I am just a memory, a lesson to others about the dangers hidden in silence. Another life gone too soon. A life lost to silence, pain, and misunderstanding. Please reach out before it's too late for you.
So as you can see, I hope that that's powerful. I hope that people are moved by that. And I hope that kids will see that and choose a different path. I want to say thank you to these guys. Thank you to City of Calera, Calera High School, Charter Funeral Home, because they really got behind us and I never got told no. Hey, let's get this done. So thank you guys. Also, shameless plug, contacted the chief. I said, hey, I need a song. I need something to put in here. I had watched on, I think, Facebook or something, of his daughter singing. And I was like, hey, do you think she could do something for us? And so he was like, absolutely not a problem. Just so happens, she wrote and, I don't know, produced this song when she was in 10th grade. And so we were able to put it on our video, and I think it was a perfect match for that. So thank you to Rachel Heitch for the music. So, thank y'all. I'd like to get these young men and women up here, get a photo real quick, if you guys don't mind. I'm gonna stand right here, and you're gonna smile. Oh, you're good. I'll find a short one, Ava. It's not KB Junior. Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is Resolution 2025-32. This is the City of Calera with CSX Transportation Agreement for the drainage facility. We got that worked out for us, Ryan.
Yeah, it was did take too
Good. We appreciate that. Now we need to make a move to adopt that.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ordinance 2025-04. I do need unanimous consent on this. It's adopting Title 16, Chapter 27 of the 2024 Code of Alabama. It says, been brought to our attention from the courts and the police department. We have this adopted for public safety in our city. Surrounded, I think it surrounds school buses, correct, Chief? That's correct. The adoption of this will allow us to enforce some issues that we've had with school buses and people running the red blinking lights and the stop sign. Something we need in place to be able to really take action against folks that may potentially harm our children around school buses.
Mayor, I'll move for unanimous
I do have a motion, unanimous consent.
Second.
Motion and a second, a couple of those. And then a roll call vote, Ernest?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
And a yes.
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 On that, it's unanimous, so let's suspend our rules. Now I need a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-04.
I move that we adopt.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say
Aye.
Opposed likewise.
Mayor, before we move to the guest, I had a quick question for, regarding the, bingo. Will that be downloaded online, James? The bingo sheet?
Yes, ma'am, once we get the coupons and everything confirmed, then we'll put it online.
Okay, so will copies also be, given to the local businesses?
Yes, ma'am, the city hall, library, and some of the down residents.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
All right, the last order of business is Jackie has brought forth to us a request for the city department down with our Main Street organization for a potential rodeo. The 3R Rodeo company wants to give us a date, a couple of days in October. Is that correct?
That's correct.
October. She's gonna try to iron that out if we can find $20,000 to help fund this event. The request came to the city to ask for the participation, and the amount is $20,000 for this event. Is there any discussion from the council at this time?
So I want to make sure I understand what we've been asked, that we are willing to support the 20,000, everything else fall in place, and that's a commitment of, and so you can possibly lock in those dates.
Yes, with your commitment, we will commit to doing everything else needed to execute this event fully.
And the funding would come just prior to the event, correct?
We could make that work. Yes.
Our portion.
Yes.
That'll just come.
So be in October.
Probably be in the next budget, is that correct?
If you don't need to attach until October, yes, that'd be next year's budget.
So we can budget for that during the next budget work sessions. Is the way I would see that. I think you need it, first and foremost, is a commitment from us.
Yes, I definitely need the commitment. I mean, if there was any way to maybe have a little bit sooner than that, and then the bulk of it in the next fiscal year, that would help us, if that's possible, If not, we'll work with whatever you can do. We're just very appreciative.
Mayor, you mentioned the subsurface drain work, and Hillville, I think is as big of an issue as the subsurface drainage. Is that something that, has it been designed yet?
I really haven't seen this. Tonight is the first that I've heard of the event. And I think it's just
enough time to accomplish that.
sprung up, but that's something that Bill and I would have to go with Roger. We'd have to go kind of brainstorm on making that happen.
We're going to try to meet, Roger and I, with the rodeo producers tomorrow afternoon and walk the property and just truly decide what, lay hands on it and figure out exactly what needs to be done and where. Just eyeballing it, I would think that's farther back from where that drainage would be done. But I don't know. We would need to discuss all of that.
Within reason, we would work together to get the adequate facilities set, the site set up. And we have some ability to do that. I don't know what's required, but we'll be glad to explore that.
Thank you.
I think at this time, it's not it's just maybe more so a commitment in order to lock down a date.
That is the
And we
bare
can work
minimum
the
I need
details.
tonight.
Yeah, we can work the details as we go. This is the first I've heard of it. So. Well, if the council has any more discussion,
Just one more, Mayor. If I may, Jackie.
Yes, sir.
This question, Jackie, if I heard you right, you said something about in-kind from the county. What do you mean by that?
The county has a few things that we're able to borrow, that any city is able to borrow, assuming availability. They have barricades and some traffic directional signs. They have a stage. Now, that particular night, that stage is not available, but we have been able to borrow that before. So those are the types of things that they offer to the various cities, and they're great. They're great to work with.
I want to get an understanding.
Sure.
I heard the word in-kind from the county. I just want to know what that meant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
they've been very helpful in the past. They've got
Always.
really nice training.
That
They
recycle
transformed
trailer.
out into a stage. It's like a transformer.
And it's positive that it will generate tax revenue, fill up our hotels.
I think it'll be excellent entertainment. I want to be the clown. I don't know who else wants to climb up for that. I want to be-
I'll say
I
yes,
want to be the
ma'am.
clown. I love rodeo.
I'd like to make a motion that we give them the opportunity to go ahead and set this event up for the city.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor of us committing to to this event? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. So
Thank you.
we'll move forward, and we look forward to get with Bill, Roger, I'll be available. We'll try to come up with an idea of the dirt.
Thank
moving the dirt. That's probably a bigger feat than we think, but we'll see what we can come up with. All right, on the public comment section, I have David Morgan. It's with us. Come forward.
Hello, can you hear me? I could not have picked a better night to do this. My name is David Morgan. This council has heard from folks on a regular basis and a good deal tonight about our nation's mental health crisis. Many of you have heard of what is being called the epidemic of loneliness. That somehow, even with incredible advances in communication, a creeping loss of privacy, we've lost our shared connections, our values, and purpose. We have all seen how the primal urge to be included has driven so many to substance abuse, extremism, or degeneracy. It makes us willing to compromise our beliefs and principles. I have dedicated the majority of my career, in my adult life, to the public service. I have led an emergency communications district and worked to prepare our state for the worst possible disasters. It has been my duty and my privilege to literally answer the calls from my fellow citizens. In our most desperate hours, we rely on others, and most of us, when asked, would answer that call. Some of us have seen and have made answering that call our lives, our livelihood. Yet this epidemic doesn't come from our moments of desperation, but from the slow creep of our disconnection. But I am optimistic the solutions are available to us. The city can create a strong and resilient community by fostering the right environment for connectedness, purpose, and mutual respect. And we can make it easier to create places to just exist, to meet one another, not motivated by economic return. And we can make it easier to find a job, start a business, or build an industry. By facilitating things like good food, clean water, continuing to keep our communities safe, we free up our community members to engage with each other. A strong and resilient community is vital to weathering all hazards before us. It is therefore my duty and my privilege to declare my candidacy for Calera City Council. Over the coming months, we will have this conversation in neighborhoods, community meetings, town halls, and on social media. I invite everyone to join me, if you'd like, on electdavidmorgan.com and by building the community that you want to live in.